Hi, welcome to Arrows TV. I'm your host, Johnny Kelly.
And I'm your co-host, Joseph Ball.
We're joined again by James Kelly and Andreas Lykoudis, Arrows men's point guards, to continue our second episode of the Division 2 recap. We've already done the current bottom four teams. We're going to get the next four teams who are positioned from 5th to 8th, and we'll start with 8th place, a team we've seen 3 times and a team we've lost to twice. Liverpool, Joe. We got an extraordinary win in Liverpool. A very good team, yeah. 6 and 8 is that a tough record for them?
I think it's a just record. The first year in D2 is going to have a little bit, have a few hiccups, but they're doing well. Like, they should be very happy with themselves what they're doing right now around the playoffs, getting better each game. So come playoff time, they're going to be a team in and around the 8 to 6 spot, I think, but can cause anybody, trouble on the day.
It's interesting you say they could cause trouble. I'm a firm believer that Liverpool are actually a very good team. Going to you, James, their 6 wins, they had Nottingham at home by 15, but then all their other wins are against the teams in the bottom 4.
Yeah.
Are they a dangerous team when it comes to the playoffs?
Very dangerous. Do not underestimate Liverpool. I'm going to say that on record now. I do think that they're a very solid team. They've got Chris Bigley, who I think is one of the league's best players. He's very experienced. He's played at a high level and come down. I do think Hudson is a very good guard, and they've got the shooter as well. They're a good team, and if I was a fan of theirs, I might be a little bit disappointed they haven't won a few more, because I think they do have a lot of talent. They've lost a few close games as well. It'll be really, really interesting to see how they finish the season, I think, because they do have a good team. I'm interested for you to read out their running to see who they've got left. I know you want to go to Andreas first.
Well, I'll do that, and then I'll go to Andreas. Liverpool's running is Ipswich at home, Loughborough and Arrows away, East Side and West Side away, East London and Brixton at home, and Loughborough at home. Andreas, do you, if you saw that run in for Liverpool, are you happy with that, having 3 teams at the bottom still to play, or they've got a couple of big teams, but maybe at home?
I think the home games being against 3 of the bottom teams, I think Liverpool will definitely get them. Liverpool, like Ipswich, they're in thereabouts with all the top teams in the league, but on most of the occasions they just can't get it done. Like us, when we played them in the Patrons Cup, each game was really close. We just couldn't get it done. Come to league play, it's up, tables have turned. We're getting it done. Liverpool have just been struggling.
Absolutely. So out of their games, I mean, they played 14. They played 14 games and 7 to go. 8 to go. Sorry, I don't teach maths. It's all right. So 8 to go. How many wins out there for Liverpool for you, Andreas?
3 stretching to 4 that they might catch an away game somewhere. They've got Ipswich to play at home as well.
So sorry, I'll read out their home games. They've got Ipswich, Brixton, Loughborough, and East London at home.
I think
East Side, West Side, Loughborough, and Arrows away.
I think they'll get another 4 wins in there. They'll definitely be a playoff team. I don't think they'll get a top 4 or get a home game in the playoffs, but they'll definitely be a playoff spot. And I'd say another 4 wins for Liverpool.
4 wins to 10 and 12 for you, Andreas. Yeah. Okay, James.
I'm going to go similar to Andreas, but I think there's 5 out there for them. I do think they'll get the bottom teams away. I do think they're very difficult to beat at home, and in the league game we're on the ropes against them, and arguably played our best basketball of the season in that second half to come back and win. I've said it before, I just think they're very, very dangerous, especially at home. I think there's 5 more wins out there for them.
5 more, 11 and 11, 50% for you.
Yeah.
Joseph?
Same. 11-11. I think they're going to cause upset at home. Don't know who it's going to be against, but I feel that they're going to be egged up for everybody who comes into their house, no matter where they are in the league. And I think they're going to pull off the upset.
I think I'm going to go with 4 for them. I do think they'll get East Side, West Side, and Brixton. They've got Ipswich and East London at home, and where I think they could beat both of them. I think there's one they're going to drop because I think that's kind of their running theme for the season where they're in close games and they haven't been able to close it out in league play. I mean, they beat us twice in close situations in the Patriots Cup. They can do it. I don't think they've shown in the league that they have done it yet. So I'm going to go for 4. I'm going to go 10 and 12. But like I said, like you said, I think in the playoffs they're going to be a serious threat to somebody, even though they'll be going away from home.
I don't think you'd want to play them in the first round, would you?
Definitely not. No. If we got the chance to try and avoid them, we'll be doing that. So, moving on to Ipswich. Obviously, we're quite happy with our Ipswich performances. 2 wins this year. First time we've done that in league play since they've come into Division 2. 8 and 6. They've out of those 8 games, 6 of them have been against the bottom 4, with Liverpool and East London at home. They're their 8 wins. A team we're used to be seeing right up at the top. I'm going to go to you, Joe. Ipswich, a little bit different this year.
Yeah, since Green's gone out for the season, they've seemed to pick up the pace, kind of guard heavy now. It's quite similar to us in that way, liking to run down the court and try and get quick buckets. I feel a little bit more time, maybe beyond this season, to be able to be identified as that sort of team because they've done it so late, but it's positive for them. Like, it's time to see what they can get out of this season. I feel like it's going to be quite a lottery for if they do well or if they don't, because they are in and around the teams. So I'm feeling I can't give much praise to them until they get it done, but they've got the potential to do it.
Andreas, the news came out this week that Josh Johnson has left Ipswich, and Nick Drain has said they've just not been able to get it done in the closer games. I mean, we 12 points down with under 2 minutes to go. Sorry, 8 points down with under 2 minutes to go and got a 12-0 run. Is that our play, or do you think there was a little bit of their play involved in that?
I wouldn't say more or less there, but I'd say our play. I'd say we're known this season for playing our best basketball in the second half of the game, by far. I think we saw the score, we realised we needed to switch on now. We played the heavier defence than we did for the rest of the game, and we stopped the fast break points that they got a run on at the start of the second half. Minimalised them, capitalised on points, made our free throws, and I think that's why we won.
I think going to you, James, now we'll get your prediction first. For Ipswich, they're running home games are Westside, Hoods, Brixton and Solent, and their away games are Liverpool, East London, Hoods and Pioneers.
Tough run in. It's going to be really interesting for them. Obviously, Greenham's gone down injured. We know the news about Johnson. Tanner Adu's left. It's really interesting when people leave, and when me and Joseph have been in this situation in previous years when we've lost people on the way, you go one of 2 ways. You either roll over, or you sort of, the people who are left grow together as a collective, and that sort of gives you a bit of a second wind and spurs you on. So it's going to be really interesting to see where they go from here. They do have a tough running of games. I think there's maybe 2 more wins out there. They've got a lot of tough games. I just don't know if they're going to be deep enough to trouble the top teams. So I would put them down for 2 more.
2 more, that would leave them with 10 and 12.
Yeah, I think so.
10 and 12. We'll go to you, Joe.
I'm thinking quite similar to the Liverpool situation. I'm thinking they got 3 more wins. That finish, will that be on 500, right?
That'd be 11-11.
Yep, I think they're going to have, similar to their season to that T seasons, that with Johnson going, it's not necessarily the losing a guard, the losing the second highest rebounder. So I'm feeling that that's going to cause some problems on the way, unless it can get somebody to pick up those boards.
Andreas?
Who have they got left to play?
I'll read them out again. Their home games are Westside, Hoods, Brixton and Solent, and their away games are Liverpool, East London, Hoods and Pioneers.
I'd say they've got another 2 wins in them, like James said. I'd say 2 away. I think they'll get Brixton. Was it Westside?
Yeah, West Side at
I
home,
think
yeah.
Brixton and West Side definitely. And like Joe said, they're also like losing offensive rebounder, but also losing a key player for them who for like the 3 seasons they've been in the league has been one of their lead players. Really like structured the offense, brought the ball up, one of the key players, and I think that will hurt them.
I think I have to agree. I think it is a big loss for them to lose him. He's someone you plan for in your defensive plans going into a game with Ipswich, and you have to. And I felt it was important that we had the right player on him at all times. I think that is going to be a big loss, and that's why I'm going to have to agree with James and Andreas. Sorry, Joe. But I'm going to go for 10 and
Alright.
12.
Unfortunately.
Well, either me, James and Andreas are going to have joint win, or we're going to joint lose at this moment in time. We move on now to East London. In one of the most entertaining games we saw at home, in terms of, I think the biggest lead was 7. It was that tight all the way through, and a dramatic end, 16-15 in overtime it was, in our favour. East London, Andreas, just tell me about their team.
They've got a really good skill guard who's been in, this is the second year in the league, his second year in the league, so he knows the league. He wasn't at East London last year, but with a new team just come down from Division 1, kept on to some of the players that were playing in Division 1, really athletic, really big, typical London team. Home games, I think they'll be able to get most of their home games, really structured, well coached, and against us, I thought it showed how good we were. As in, I got injured, two other players got fouled out. It shows how good our squad was. We had players coming into the game who were able to get it done in like overtime, in crunch time, and it just shows how good we've been.
Absolutely. I think with East London, I think one thing that kind of jumps out at you when you look at their record so far is they've taken down Pioneers away, Solent at home, Loughborough at home. They've got a good another win against Liverpool at home. They haven't lost to anybody in the bottom 4. They've been really solid there. They've actually their only loss. They've lost to Hoods and Ipswich, who are around them. Both of them away. All their games they've lost have been away from home. James, big wins for them. Pioneers away, Solent home, Loughborough at home. Does that show how good they are?
I think it does, yeah. As Andreas said, Aaron Smith is probably one of the, with Big Lee and Joseph who sat here.
Their database.
He's probably
Aaron
one
Smith.
of the standout players in the league, extremely dangerous. He's got a great shot and he released it so quick. It's really difficult to to get a handle on him. Very dangerous team, like a lot of teams are in our division. I can see them potential outsiders for being in and around the top 4. But as we've seen throughout this league already, anybody can beat anybody, so it's going to be really tough to predict who's going to be them top few teams, but they're certainly in the mix.
Well, it's tough to predict, and that's our job. Joseph, we're going to go to you. 9 and 5 currently.
Mm-hmm.
Their running is actually very favourable, you must say. At home, they have Hoods, Ipswich, Westside, Arrows and Pioneers all at home. Their away games are Liverpool, Worcester, Eastside and Pioneers again. That doesn't make sense. I have them for one more win than they actually have. I apologise, we'll move on. How many more wins do you think they've got? I don't know how that's happened, but how many more wins do you see there?
I see them getting the wins at home other than us. I feel like they brought a team without an extra player. I forgot who database might know, but I'm not
Okafor, isn't it?
like one of their bigs that's been playing a lot of minutes for them. So I feel like because the London lot don't necessarily travel the best, like at home they're going to be full strength.
Yeah.
So how many home games do they have?
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 home.
So I think that they will get 4 of the home games. So I'm thinking,
They've got Worcester, Eastside, Liverpool away.
yes, and I'm thinking that they'll end up
And Pioneers.
6 more wins.
You think 6 more wins?
6 more wins.
That's So that'll take them to 15 wins for them. 15 and 7.
Oh, wait, 14. 14 wins.
14 wins,
Yes.
so 14 and 8.
Yes.
14 and 8. We'll go to you, James.
Really tough to call. I do think their away games are probably teams that would want to play on the road at this time of year, with the exception of Liverpool. I think they'll get the two. Liverpool's a very tough game. As Joseph said, in London, I think they'll be very tough to beat, and I do think they'll get wins there. I think you could probably put them down for another 5 wins, I think.
14 and 8 as well.
Yeah.
Andreas?
I'd say 15 and 7.
15 and 7.
Yeah.
Straight to the point.
Yeah. I think Worcester East Side away, yes. West Side at home, yes. I think they'll get Ipswich at home. There's 4. I think they might get 1 Pioneers. I think there's 5, maybe 6. I think they might get a surprise in there. I'm gonna go with Andreas on this one. I'm gonna go 15 and 7 for East London. I like what they did. I think it was one of our better games we played in terms of 40 minutes or 45 minutes for that game, and I think they were very good, and we had to be at our best to compete. And really, I think if the game had gone on for another 30 seconds, there might have been another 6 points in our game. You don't know who they would have gone for. So yeah, I'll go 15 and 7. Leads us now to actually one of the more intriguing ones. 9 and 4, Nottingham Hoods. They picked up a few losses at the start of the year, namely ourselves and Liverpool. They've also lost to Solent and Loughborough away. All their losses have been away from home. They've only played 5 home games. So they've got another 6 at home. Their run-in looks as follows: Brixton, Solent, Worcester, Eastside and Ipswich at home. East London, Pioneers, Worcester and Ipswich away. So another 9 games to play. We'll go to Andreas for this one. Nottingham Hoods.
Well structured, again, deep in rotation, very strong starting 5, including I think it's the Spanish big that's just come back.
Stander.
Yeah,
Database.
Lorenzo.
Lorenzo. A very good skilled guard. Likes to travel a lot. The what's he called?
I hope he's not watching this.
What's he called?
Is it that?
Kieran.
No. Is that
I'm just throwing out other
Alvaro?
names out.
No, he's the bald-headed guard. The East
Oh,
European.
yeah, side check, is it?
Oh, so yeah.
Side check.
Yeah.
I know more.
I think they've got 2 skilled players.
He's catching on.
They've got players around them like Luke Mitchell, the other guard that they've got who can knock it down, leave them open. It's money. I think they'll take some wins off some big teams in the top half of the league, definitely, especially at home. Tough place to go and play, but again, I don't know if they've got the team to first time in Division 2 this season. I don't know if they've got the team to get that automatic promotion spot, but I think they'll obviously make the playoffs and they'll take some big teams down with them.
James, the database. Nottingham 9 and 4. Does their record lie at this moment in time?
I think it does. I think that they're better than their record shows. I think losing their inside player after Christmas has really hurt them. I think that's where they picked up 3 of their 4 losses in that period. Is that right?
Loughborough,
Yeah.
Arrows, Liverpool, yeah.
Yeah, and I think that's really hurt them. Now he's back, I do see them picking up. I do think they'll have a run. Interesting run in, but I do see them right in the mix for maybe the title even with 4 losses. Head to head's going to be important for them, where they can get the series against the top teams. Do they still play Loughborough? Have they played them twice?
They've played them twice. Won 1, lost 1.
Yeah. Well, I think from their 9 games, I think that they could possibly win 7 of those. I do think they're a strong outfit at full strength.
We'll go into predictions. 7 of those will take them to 16 and 6 for the season.
Yeah.
Yeah. Joseph?
Yeah, I'm thinking the same as Jimmy on this one. I think they'll take them. Was it nine games they've got? I think they'll definitely get 7 of those, especially 5 at home. Like they've not lost all, and they've made it hard for every team. Even when Manchester came over in the cup, had a hard time with them. So yeah.
Andreas?
I'd say 15.
15.
Yeah.
15 and 7. I actually think they're going to go 8 out of the 9.
Mm-hmm.
I think looking at the run-in, I think even their tough ones in terms of Solon and Ipswich, they're at home. I think they've got a tough one away to Pioneers. I can see, to be an East London away, I can see them getting 8. A 9, I wouldn't be surprised, but at the same time I'd be impressed. But I see them finishing with 8 wins out of the 9 and finishing 17 and 5, and that may well be good enough. I think that'll definitely be good enough to finish in the top 2. But that concludes spots 5 to 8 at the moment. Come back again for the next video as we look at the top 4, and the Arrows will be included in that. See you again.